The system does not want the average individual here in the Matrix waking up. The system does not want the average individual out here in the Matrix to realize what their real power is. The system doesn't want free-thinking, spiritually minded, active individuals. The system wants complacent workers. The system wants people who are okay with working a 9-to-5 job their entire life and, never having any free time to do anything outside of the box, such as experience enlightenment, awaken the chakras, the subtle bodies, etc. So I wanted to make a video on Christ consciousness and Kundalini, the Merkaba as well. I have a few videos discussing these topics already, but this is such an expansive topic, there's so much to talk about, so this video will be about those things. Christ consciousness, for those who don't know, is when Kundalini awakens inside the body and travels from the base of the spine all the way to the top of the head, and on its path of doing that, as it moves up the spinal system, it opens up all the electrical channels of the body. It opens up the doshas, the subtle bodies, the aura, etc. Real chakra activation is something that cannot really be explained. I can do my best to talk about it, but it really has to be experienced. It has to be felt, etc. There's so many people out here in the Matrix claiming to have their chakras activated and their pineal gland, third eye open, etc. And the simple truth is that they're not. There's more to these chakras being open than just being like somewhat psychic or etc. Many people who are psychic believe that they have their chakras completely activated, and while they may have them stimulated, I don't believe that they have them completely activated, because when chakras are completely activated and you can feel that Kundalini moving through your body, you can now perform miracles. You can do things that science says are impossible. And I don't see a lot of the people out here who claim to be completely activated harboring those traits at all. So it is what it is. But being psychic, in my opinion, shows me that you are highly activated, highly charged, etc. But again, this is not on a Christ level. And again, Christ consciousness is when the chakras are completely activated. Christ consciousness is when your third eye is completely open. When the left and the right hemispheres of your brain are working in tandem and in unison with the sacred space of the heart, and you enter the non-dualistic state. So again, the system does not want people becoming completely activated. The system does not want people activating Kundalini, because when you activate Kundalini, when you activate the chakras, when you open up the subtle bodies, when you get inside of your aura and get inside of your Merkaba, you now have power over the parasitic elite which control things here. So they're going to do everything in their power to keep you in slave consciousness, and if you have a problem with me saying that, I mean, I don't really care. I know what both sides of the scale are like. I know what Kundalini Christ consciousness, Merkaba consciousness is like, and I also know what my old consciousness, the outdated slave consciousness, is like, and I can say that it's much more beautiful on the Christ consciousness level than it is to be a complacent worker bee here for the the dehumanizing agenda of the Matrix here in the Western world, of the physical dimension, the land of the dead. So my channel, I try to inspire people and get people interested by these ideas so that they, by watching these rants, might desire it in their heart enough to attempt to experience these states of consciousness that I'm talking about, enlightened consciousness. And again, I'm in no way, shape, and or form saying that right now I am completely activated, that I'm in my Merkaba, etc. All I'm saying is that I've experienced it. I've experienced Christ consciousness, Kundalini, the Merkaba, the various dimensions, etc. And my entire life's purpose is to do everything that I can to get back into that sacred state and stay there. But it's not the easiest thing to do with all the distractions here in the Western world. And it's not just the West, it's everywhere. The control grid has been spread all across the world. So, I mean, like I said before, with Christ consciousness, enlightened consciousness, you can perform miracles. Talking about extreme clairvoyance, telepathy, communication with animals, levitation, all sorts of stuff. I need to watch what I say on here because there's certain things that I can and can't say. I don't want to get my channel shut down. So, you know, all I'm saying is that with Christ consciousness, we can heal the planet. The Christ consciousness grid around the planet needs to heal. And, you know, we are the ones we've been waiting for. So, you know, people ask me all the time, what can we do to turn things around here on the planet? It's looking pretty dismal. How can we save the planet? How can we save ourselves? How can we save our species? How can we save the animals? It's by becoming enlightened. It's also from doing everything in your power to help. Every little thing that you do to help the planet, whether it be picking up trash, whether it be researching all the crazy insanity taking place here on the Earth, such as the fracking and all the geoengineering, everything that you do, whether it be spreading information on the internet, everything you do, whether it be, you know, using less water and conserving and eating healthy, everything that you do with the intention of it helping the planet directly affects the outcome of things taking place here on Earth. What are you talking about, bro? Me picking up some trash? How's that gonna fucking work, man? I mean, what's that gonna do? It's something, isn't it? Would you rather not attempt to help? Or would you rather just cower like a coward and just give up and never try anything? And that's what many people do. And, you know, a lot of the people that come onto my channel and find me on Facebook, you know, some of the haters that I've run across, they automatically, many of these people, due to their inculcation, automatically think that enlightenment is an impossible thing, that it's something that only happens in comic books and stories. It's the exact opposite. Just because you were taught to believe that magic, sorcery, enlightenment, etc. isn't real, just because you were taught to believe that doesn't mean it's not the truth. So many people out here just automatically think that they know everything. Many people out here think they're the most intelligent people on the planet. Many people just want to, oh, the Christ consciousness, that's not a real thing, bro. You're crazy. You're fucking hippie, blah, blah, blah. And you look like such a fool. You look like an idiot to us humans here on Earth who have experienced the higher dimensions, who have experienced the Godhead, the Merkaba, etc. It's a very real thing. So the system does a great job developing and breeding useful idiots who, how would I say it, man? The system works overtime to breed humans and indoctrinate them, inculcate them, and brainwash them into thinking that they're powerless. The system also produces just millions of people who fight, kick, and scream to defend the status quo, even though the status quo is absolutely spiritually backwards and satanic when you really dissect it and look at it. There are so many crazy things going on the planet right now, and it is amazing to me at how many people aren't aware of these things. It's insanity. The important things have all been put on the back burner, while all the insalubrious, non-spiritual, zombie-like things, such as television and eating excessive animal flesh, etc., all these things have been put on the front burner. All the fake entertainment, all of the distractions, all of the sports, all of, again, the television and all of the programs that you program yourself with. It's insane. No, and so many people aren't aware of MK Ultra and Project Paperclip and all the insanity, man. So, you know, veg out. I mean, go for it. If you don't want to push the envelope of who you are, you know, don't do it then. And believe me, there's going to be plenty of people who won't do it. So, I mean, pick who you work, pick what team you want to be on, because, you know, you can either be on the failing team or you can be on the team that's attempting to, you know, make miracles happen here on Earth, both in their consciousness and on the planet. So, and again, you know, It is what it is. And it's funny to me too, many people who claim that they follow Christ, many of them don't even walk in a way that Christ would have walked. And what I mean by that is many people don't even act like Jesus. Many people don't have righteousness. Many people don't care about other people. Many people just care about themselves and their own immediate family and friends. Many people never reach out to try to help other people. And many of these people who claim to be following Jesus Christ are in no way, shape, or form even close to even harboring that type of energy that he harbored. So, it is what it is. What are you talking about, man? You're talking about Kundalini and Christ consciousness? Kundalini is the byproduct of the devil. How is Kundalini the byproduct of the devil? Because because serpents are involved? You've been brainwashed heavily, brother. Kundalini is just the energy, the dormant energy of mankind that will evolve his consciousness and his body-mind complex into the angelic realms and transmute his DNA into angel DNA. So, and again, I know many people are going to think I sound crazy right now. I don't care. I don't make videos for the non-believers. I make videos for the people who know what time it is here on Earth and can resonate with this information. So, it's just another day here in the land of the dead here in California. And it's just amazing to me that we have such a drought going on here right now. And, many people just don't even have time to attempt to care. I mean, many people don't even have a gray water system in their shower to collect the shower water runoff, etc. People will continue to eat all the insalubrious foods. Many people will continue to waste water in the foods by eating foods that use tons of water to produce. I mean, I believe it takes 2,500 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef. And many people are eating beef every day in massive, excessive amounts. Many people are so acidic and many people are so poisoned by the system that they can't even see it. And that's the saddest thing to me, when someone becomes so poisoned that they can't even acknowledge or recognize the fact that they are poisoned. With all the programming, with all the GMO, with all of the garbage out here, all of the excessive inorganic minerals that have lodged themselves into the bodies of these Westerners and etc. People all across the globe. So I try to instill some hope into people, and I try to inspire people to look at their algorithms in their life and ask themselves. I try to inspire people to ask themselves if what they're doing here on Earth is really in alignment with their higher self. There's a lower self and there's a higher self. The lower self is drenched and obsessed with all of the lower aspects of this experience, all the excessive sex, all the excessive junk food, all the excessive fake entertainment, all of the illusions, all the bullshit. Then you have your higher self. The higher self is the self that has merged with the divine. The higher self is the self that is in unison and connected to source. The lower self is not connected to source. The lower self is disconnected from that which is above, hence why it's called, it's called the lower self. So I hope these messages can inspire people to look at their lives and ask themselves, am I operating day to day from my higher self or from my lower self? And if I'm not operating from my higher self, what can I do to help raise my vibration and raise my tune so that I can begin walking up the staircase of evolution and get in unison with the divine? And that's why that's why I'm constantly teaching people about health and the importance of drinking clean water and thinking positive thoughts and deep breathing, etc., and exercising, getting minerals back in your body. All these things, if done with the right intention, will help increase your vibration and enhance your spiritual consciousness. That's why I'm constantly inspiring people to cleanse parasites out of their system. I mean, the parasites are directly connected to lower astral beings. So when you have parasites that have made your body their house, I mean, it's very common for people who are riddled with parasites to constantly crave excessive, unhealthy, unspiritual sex. It's common for people who are filled with parasites to constantly crave foods that parasites love, and parasites love garbage food. Parasites love foods that have all their minerals freaking just bleached out of them, stripped out of them. Parasites love all the excessive processed sugar. Parasites love all of the garbage, all of the candy, all of the cooked foods, etc. And that's why that's why I at least try to inspire people to look at their diet and begin changing it if it doesn't resonate with your higher self in the sacred space of your heart. So, you know, it is what it is, and this is not an easy path. There are so many distractions out here in the matrix, you know. The average person, by the time they're 30 years old, is so embedded in all the programming, in all of the artificial algorithms that have been embedded into their cellular structures, etc. The average person's too embedded into the system to break free from it. And that's poisoning. Again, the average person is so poisoned that they can't see that they're poisoned. So good luck escaping. And, you know, I'm constantly, you know, trying to inspire people to start taking herbs and experiment with herbs, etc. You know, I mean, there's so many neat things out there that are just waiting for you to discover. But, you know, many people, again, baseball's too important. So, and again, Christ consciousness is when all of your chakras that have been turned off become activated again, and they re-enlighten all the blood, etc. inside the spinal system. So, I mean, Kundalini is the evolutionary path of man that is waiting to be rediscovered by man. And, you know, Kundalini, if it rises, gets inside the pineal gland, completely illuminates the brain, turns the brain on, and, you know, you will have a glow around your head. You will glow. Your aura will actually glow. When you are in Christ consciousness and you're experiencing it, you'll be able to see your aura around you. You'll be able to interact and see your Merkaba. And your Merkaba directly connects you to your higher self into God. So there are states of consciousness that prove the existence of God, but many people will never experience that because many people, you know, have bought into the idea that God's not real and I'm an atheist and blah, blah, blah. So, again, I'm not trying to bash atheists, but, you know, the blueprint of God, the blueprint of the Creator is everywhere. It's in the cells, it's in the trees, it's in the clouds, it's in the air, it's in your skin, it's in your organism. The handprint and the blueprint of God is everywhere. It's in the plants, the grass, the atoms, the molecules, the electrons, protons. It's in the nucleus, etc. Blueprint, the handprint and the blueprint and the proof of God is in the sun, in the moon, and in the planets. You ever think about how much of a trip it is that you live on a planet, in a solar system, in a universe that's comprised of multiple galaxies, billions? You ever think about how much of a gift that is? But God's not real. All of this is just random, and you just came here to, you know, have, you know, anywhere from 30 to 100 years of work, and then, you know, adios, God's not real. Off to the next dimension so that you can be a slave for the next star system that your soul gets moved to. It's heavy. But Christ consciousness can help save the planet. In my opinion, Christ consciousness and Kundalini are one of the only ways that we'll actually be able to save the planet. So, it's deep. It's just, it's absolutely mind-boggling how deep the programming goes. And I know that because I've released my programming. I experienced, as the Kundalini moved up my back, it opened up all the karmic centers in my life, and I got to look at all of my karma and what I was doing, and I got to see just how programmed I was. I was programmed to constantly attract misfortune, etc., and more programming and more unhealth, etc. And many of us, due to peer pressure, due to you know, families don't know how to feed their kids, etc. Many of us are so used to the algorithm of death and unhealth that many people go their whole life going backwards instead of going forwards. So, many people eat foods that degrade their spiritual life in their bodies, etc., instead of eating and drinking in a way that actually enhances your life and makes you more illuminated, more intelligent, more spiritual, etc. So it's just a matter of flipping things around so that what we do brings us more fortune instead of misfortune. Because many people have miserable lives and they don't know why, but when you look at the life that they live and the patterns that they follow patterns that actually lead them into turmoil instead of peace, harmony, and union with the higher self. So getting back into the higher self is the first step. People ask me all the time, how can we save the planet? Seek Christ consciousness. Seek enlightenment. Seek awakening. Seek pineal gland activation. Sit down and ask your higher self to bring you into those states of consciousness and watch what happens. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to happen overnight. I can't tell you how your life works. Each person's different. So if you care enough, and if you actually want to change the planet, if you want to experience enlightenment, if you want it bad enough, you will find it. It is only the people who don't seek the kingdom of heaven that never find it. So and always remember that everything that you do is being recorded. I like to call it the karma camera. It's not an actual physical camera, but everything that you do gets recorded by your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, and all the other spirits that are watching over you right now. So, it's so amazing to experience what's actually happening around you that you can't see. And one of the ways that you can do that is, the pineal gland has to get activated. And that happens through Kundalini. And it's just amazing. I saw angels, I saw my ancestors, my deceased ancestors, all sorts of spirits. All this stuff is happening around us. But since we only use a small fraction of our brain, we can only see a small fraction of the spectrum of what's going on here. So, the average person, we only use 3 to 4% of our brain. That's because you're not... Kundalini is responsible for turning on the rest of your dormant, partially activated brain. So when you do get that energy, the chi moving through you to such a degree where your aura becomes activated, and your Merkaba does as well, in the sacred space of your heart, the toroidal field, etc. Once you get the electricity moving through your system and your brain is now turned on like a light bulb for the first time ever, you can now penetrate through the matrix and see everything in front of you that has been hidden to you. And believe me, there's angels around you, there's guardian spirits, there's all sorts of stuff. So, many people know this, and many people communicate with their guides, but to be able to actually see them physically in a physical form while you're processing the enlightenment energy of Kundalini, it'll blow your mind. It'll absolutely blow your mind. So, again, this channel, said it before, I'm trying to get people to question their algorithms and question whether or not what they're doing is actually producing a spiritual outcome or an unholy outcome. If you want to go your whole life being a garbage dump and eating just hundreds of pounds of sugar, which the average person does every year, if you want to eat hundreds of pounds of dead, murdered animals, go for it. If you don't want to act righteous, if you don't want to be righteous, if you don't want to seek divine love and union with your higher self, then don't do it. And believe me, like I said earlier, there's going to be plenty of people who don't give a shit. And again, Jesus always said the path is narrow. It is not broad. So watch your fucking step. Because if you want to get caught up in the hyena consciousness that many of these people are experiencing here in the Matrix, if you want to act like a jackal, a dirty rat, if you want to, excuse me, if you want to act like a harlot, go for it. Ahab and Jezebel here in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, go for it. Go for it. But I hope that these messages that I'm making can come into your life at the right time and inspire you. Or, many of the people that watch this stuff, they already know what I'm talking about, So I'm just trying to put this positive energy out into the universe and push it out into the universe in hopes that you pick it up and you can make a positive impact on your life with the information, whether that be, starting to drink clean water, starting to clean your skin, starting to eat healthier. I'm constantly trying to teach people the importance of cleaning your body with soaps and different shampoos that don't destroy your body, etc. Constantly trying to teach people the importance of getting the sunlight. And it's crazy here in 2015 just how bad things are. I mean, the average day here in California is so riddled with geoengineering chemtrail aerosols. It's hard to even find a few days a year nowadays in California where you get full spectrum solar penetration. So you got a bunch of zombies walking around here who get like 1/1000th the recommended daily amount of sunlight. And we're like plants. We need the sun to grow. We need healthy fluids and sunlight and foods to grow. And that's not the cool thing to do. It's not cool to be unhealthy. In fact, it's not cool to be healthy. It's actually, the system actually glorifies being an idiot, being unhealthy. And you see that in all the silly, stupid comedies they have constantly. They're putting out here for you to watch, where they constantly glorify the idiot, make the idiot look like it's cool to be an idiot. It's insane, and it's everywhere, and it's in front of everyone's eyes, but many people don't see it because many people, it is what it is. I mean, I respect free will, so I'm not here to bash people who are useful idiots to the system. I'm just here to let some steam off my chest and tell you what I'm observing here in the physical dimension in the United States of the Matrix. I mean, the education system is where it all starts. You get put into an environment where you're slowly taught from a young age in kindergarten. You're slowly subconsciously instructed, unconsciously, that it's normal to be somewhere that you don't want to be all day, such as school, where you work 8 hours with like a 30-minute break, and they never teach anything about spirituality. They never teach anything about the Merkaba. They never teach anything about mysticism. They never teach anything about eating raw foods, juicing, the importance of enzymes, the importance of phytonutrients, etc. They teach nothing about alkalinity. In fact, this public school system forces acidity down your throat with all the animal flesh and all of the mucus-forming dairy foods, etc. So I don't need to hear it, oh, bro, you're against the education system, blah, blah, blah. I'm not 100% against the education system. I'm against education that doesn't produce spiritual outcomes. I'm against education that glorifies the matrix. I'm against education that doesn't teach proper nutrition. I'm against but believe me, you can still learn things in the public school system, also known as the public fool system. I learned how to read and to write. Those are the two best things that I derived out of the matrix education system. And again, I don't care if you have a problem with me saying this. You can hit the dislike button, unsubscribe. They don't teach anything about Kundalini, dimensional travel, etc. in these schools. They don't teach you anything about past life regression and going back and looking at your records into the Akashic records, etc. So they don't teach telepathy, nothing. So again, if you're a parent, when I have a child, I'm going to homeschool that boy or girl. There's no way I am going to put my child into the public school system after what I've seen it do to people, after what I've seen it do to myself. How long it took me to unprogram all the programs that were installed inside of me from my years of being part of the public fool system. Everything of value that I've learned from experiencing higher consciousness, or I've learned from my own personal studies. So none of the things that I'm talking about on these channels, on this channel, none of the things that I learned in the public school system. And it is what it is. It's cool to it's the normal thing to send your kid away to school, and constantly be forcing him. You got to figure out what you're going to do when you grow up. You got to never play. Constantly focus on money and what you're going to do when you grow up, because this is a crazy world. Got to make money. That's what we're basically the composites. How would I say this? We're basically all children that were told to stop playing when we were younger, and we went into the public school system, and we're completely molded by it. We had our imagination shut off in our connection to nature, etc. And that's what the Matrix does. So On behalf of the Sacred Starseed Serpent YouTube channel, I hope that this message can inspire you to question your daily algorithms and question whether or not you are walking in direct connection with your higher or lower self. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. There's parts of me that are still low that I'm working on. I'm a work in progress. We all are. But every little thing that we do with the intention of it making us more illuminated, with the intention of it helping the planet, everything that we do like that has an effect on the outcome of what happens here. So you can either try, you can either put in your best effort, you can either be unique and walk the opposite direction of the herd, or you can be one of the useful idiots out here in the Matrix who is just absolutely riddled with fear and programming. I hope that this message in my channel can inspire you to unplug your television and smash a giant hole in it or throw it off a balcony. I hope that my message in my channel can help inspire you to see the importance of drinking clean, spiritually restructured water devoid of mind control agents, fluorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, chlorine, etc. So you want to put chlorine in your body? You want to never research what these harmful constituents are? Go for it. Never do it. Keep believing everything you're told and keep guzzling your fluoride water. And believe me, there are millions of fluoride heads out here in the United States of the Matrix who, again, love to fight, kick, and scream to defend the status quo. I hope that this channel can inspire you to walk down a path of illumination and attempt to activate your dormant chakras, etc. I hope that this channel and my messages can inspire you to exercise. Get on a bicycle with some positive music and go ride around. Get your lymphatic system moving. Clean your blood. Get the blood flow moving. Intense exercise, if done properly, will affect your consciousness and elevate it. Through the release of endorphins in your body produces all these feel-good drugs, etc., for you to experience that are healthy for you, but you have to work for them, and you do that through exercise. That is one of the keys. Again, in the Agenda of Vestas, I've said this before, an old religious document, there are 3 things that build and maintain a healthy, advanced civilization. That is pristine air, pristine food, and pristine water. I added my own: pristine exercise. You could add many: pristine meditation, pristine breathing, etc. So in a way, I'm trying to get you to look at all the things in your life and ask yourself, are these pristine things? Are these pristine qualities? Or are they non-pristine? Because if you consume things, if you do things that are not pristine, you just attract more non-pristine things in your life. So, I wish I could record longer. The battery on this laptop is about to die, so I'll probably make this a 2-part series about Christ consciousness, the Merkaba, getting the Kundalini moving, etc. There are so many neat things that Kundalini will show you through its activation. The siddhis, the superpowers of the enlightened man, are incredible, and that happens through the activation of Kundalini. We're talking about telepathy, being able to lift and carry incredibly heavy objects. I'm talking about being able to do things that scientists don't even have any fucking clue that the average... How would I say this? Excuse me. There are super traits that are activated inside the human organism through the activation of Kundalini and Christ consciousness. And I may sound crazy, but levitation, breathing underwater, all sorts of really cool things. But you probably think that that's impossible. And when you do believe that something's impossible, you'll never be able to experience it, because your reality is built upon what you believe and what you think. Your thoughts become your reality. So, essentially, one of the biggest goals of this channel is for me to attempt to inspire you to do everything you can to delete your programming. And one of the best ways to do that is to meditate and observe your mind. Many people have a racing mind that is filled with crazy thoughts and all sorts of different things, all sorts of programs, etc. And one of the best ways that you can look at yourself and what you're doing, and if you're living a righteous life, is to meditate, because many people are being controlled by the chattering monkey of the mind's ego. And to turn that off and to delete the programming and to realize that you're an infinite being connected to source, etc., and that you have an infinitesimal amount of power. I mean, we are the ones we've been waiting for. So if you don't believe that, I mean, you can keep, praying that a Christ figure will come down from the heavens and fix everything, or that the Buddha will return and that everything will be better again, you know. Or you can take some action and attempt to do everything in your power to make change. What do you think God likes? People who sit around and never do anything and wait for an enlightened being to come around and fix things? Or do you think God likes people who do everything in their power to help the planet and help themselves? So, you know, get healthy so that you can help your family get healthy. Many of us have families that have been programmed by the Matrix, and many of us have family members that eat incredibly unhealthy. So become healthy and radiate your glow, and your family members will pick up on that and want to follow the path that brought you the radiance that you now harbor, from the food that you eat, from the water that you drink, through the thoughts that you think, etc. So I've spent my life attempting to walk in a Christ-like path, and it's brought me incredible miracles. So, you know, again, on behalf of this channel, thank you for watching. Look out for part 2. I may make some more videos today on this topic and merge the videos together, but let's see what 36 minutes is pretty good. Not very long. I wish I could go longer, but this battery dies randomly and I don't want to lose this footage. But, you know, increase your vibration. Get yourself some crystals. Get yourself some tools. Become inspired. Be the guy that no one has the power to be. Be a freak of nature. Be unique. You don't have to be a mindless vassal, glorified drone, useful idiot, just because the majority of the people in this matrix are walking down that path. You shouldn't have to be afraid of being different. In fact, you should find it comforting to not be like the majority of the herd. Many people are afraid to walk a supernatural path because it's the complete opposite of what their families are doing, friends, etc. Many people aren't willing to let go of those forms of comfort, so they cling to the unhealthy patterns and the unhealthy people in their lives, and they never make any progress. So you've got to learn to let go, and many people aren't going to like that, because letting go can be kind of a scary thing. Not having a grip can be a scary thing, but sometimes you have to let go to get a better grip. If you catch my drift. So I love all you guys. I didn't think this channel, I had no clue what would happen with this channel. You know, a lot of these videos are just rants that I used to make, just talking to myself to let off steam, but I recorded them, and, you know, with the intention of, hey, maybe I'll post them on YouTube someday. And I started posting them, and now I'm starting to get a good amount of feedback from people. So to those who watch my channel, to my subscribers, to those who make comments, to those that hit the like button, thank you very much, and I love you all. So, and again, I hope this channel, I repeat myself a lot. I don't care if people have a problem with that. Repetition of a message constitutes mental programming, and it's a good thing to program yourself with information like this in a land where you're being programmed constantly to be, you know, an idiot or etc. So, why do you call people idiots? Look at statistics of what people do. Look at it. The statistics don't lie. Many people have chosen to live a convenience lifestyle of just bullshit. So, I'm not, I don't mean to judge people, but if you've seen what I've seen with these eyes, you'd be saying the same damn things, man. You could just pretend like everything's okay, even though, you know, the statistics prove otherwise. Or you can begin to, you know, you can begin to look at the truth. Would you rather be a person who acknowledges the truth, or would you rather be someone who pretends everything is okay when it's not? You know how incredibly spiritually immature that is, to act like everything's okay when it's not? And you're never going to get anything done when you think like that. You're never going to have any impact on the planet when you think like that. I'm just going to shut my eyes to the truth and never look at it and just believe that everything's okay, even though all the evidence around me proves otherwise. So we're never going to fix the planet with people like that. So again, another purpose of my channel is to try to get people to start thinking like that and to start breaking through their programming so that they can begin leading a life that actually helps not only the planet but themselves, their families, their friends, etc. So again, 40 minutes, I'm going to shut this off. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and please subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave some comments as well. And please share this video if you found the information useful and applicable to your life. So again, on behalf of the Sacred Starseed Serpent YouTube channel, peace be with you.